NTR Network. I am Shanna, and we are here for this week's Supergirl Super Tuesday recap. I have my usual co-host, the Doctor.
Hola.
And today we have a special guest joining us all the way from the show that you'll probably listen to the day after this, the Flash podcast. We have Dpalm.
It's so nice to be in someone else's house.
One of these days for our guests, I'm gonna have a clap soundtrack that we can.
Yeah.
No. Don't get too crazy because then people start expecting things. Like I've spliced in parts of interviews in the UD pod, and people are like, "I like what you did." That I'm like, don't like that. It's not happening again. That was like
you know how long that took?
Out of my day. Exactly. Yeah, like that took a while, man. What are you talking about? No.
Like y'all, sometimes y'all don't even know about like the little cuts and edits that I make, and I'm like, oh, this is smooth. Nobody's even gonna notice. And then I'm like, shit, nobody's even gonna notice. You know how long that took?
Right? You're like, I kind of want to stun a little bit.
Welcome, Dpalm! Yay!
Oh, look at this!
Look at you! Fancy.
I'm figuring this thing out.
Wait till I get my new headphones. It's going to be on and popping. It's going to be so fancy. Wait till I get my new room and I can set up my little podcasting corner. It's going to be exciting. Stepping our game up. Speaking of stepping our game up, so I'm going to actually open with this email that we got. Just because it's going to relate a little bit to how some things may or may not change. So this email that we got is from Cassandra. I'm not going to put your last name out there. And it says, Doctor and Shanna, I listen to your recaps weekly, and I think overall you both do a good job. But here are a few ideas that I think may make the podcast even better. Sometimes you recap a Supergirl show scene for scene. Assume we have watched the show and know what happened. The best part is when you dissect or critique what you thought of a particular scene. Secondly, the word like is said a lot. All we have to go on is your words, and saying like every other word makes it hard to listen to the reviews. Lastly, can you bring back predictions for the upcoming episode and maybe a section called Chris Bars, because his lines are always fantastic. Thanks again. Your perspective on the show is super good and fun. Look forward to hearing from you next week, Cassandra. So thank you for your feedback. I know that I am a particular perpetrator of using like too much. It's a very weird affectation that I have, considering that I am not a Valley girl from Southern California. I will try and be better at it. I think sometimes we record super early in the morning and I'm just not paying attention to it, but I will try and be more cognizant of it.
I'm just a guest, but I want to see how many times I can say like in this episode.
just to show things up.
To be fair, and in Shanna's defense, we because we're trying to get it out to you, and she is 3 hours behind me. I'm on the East Coast, she's on the West Coast. We wind up, and then I have to be at work very early. So we wind up recording at 7 a.m. my time, which is 4 a.m. her time. So just please forgive her for that. It's not her fault.
And I was concussed last week, you guys.
Oh, no. I'm not doing this.
Again, these are the concussion truthers over here. I was concussed. According to my doctor, I had a mild concussion, but I am fine now. Thank you for your concerns, everyone out there in podcast land.
Thoughts and prayers.
They coded it that way so that you wouldn't get needlessly charged by your insurance company.
That's part one. Part two, why would we believe you?
Oh my gosh! Because I'm a generally upstanding human being?
You made a big show about how big this was for you to prove us wrong. And all we've got is your word.
Okay, fine. Anyway. And the other thing, so we are going to try and do a little bit more like either by character or by general storyline instead of recapping scene by scene. And we could totally bring back the predictions for what's going to happen next. I think it's been, for me, I know I don't usually watch the preview for the upcoming week, but the past few weeks I have been watching it, so it's hard to predict it when you know what's coming. So,
But I think we can predict even beyond that episode, like how it might
oh,
play out, because sometimes it doesn't necessarily play out the way we think it will.
yeah. But thank you. I appreciate your feedback,
Yes, thank you, Cassandra.
especially because we're always trying to get better at this whole thing.
And we can, if you don't tell us what we can do better. So
So this week's episode, part of the reason we asked Dpalm to guest on this episode is because it's all Daddy Danvers. It's all like callbacks and what's the word? Lore and deep cuts and stuff. So we asked him to come on and talk all things Supergirl. He's the resident comic book expert.
I'm telling Chris he said that.
You are. I mean, you really are.
let the record show.
Especially when it comes to DC. Like, I can definitely go toe to toe when we're talking about Marvel, but DC, I got nothing. I read Batgirl, and that's it.
Who's writing Batgirl now?
Um,
Is it James Tynion? No.
I stopped reading the standalone. I started reading the Batgirl versus Bird of Prey.
Okay, cool.
Because it has my other favorite characters. So
That's a
it.
great reason to read a book. It's perfect. That's why I read Detective Comics.
I was really into the Batgirl when, was it Babs Tarr was drawing it?
Yeah.
I think they.
I really loved that pre-New 52 run with Steph as Batgirl.
It's pretty good, but I'm mainly a Marvel girl. Like, I recently started reading some DC stuff, and I'm thinking about reading Vixen because she's black and I like her.
I feel you.
That's about it. So first of all, what did you guys think of the episode?
I liked it. I was glad because we had a couple of up and down episodes there, and I started to get worried that they were slipping. But now that we've had 2 back-to-back really good ones, I'm more comfortable. I'm not having CBS season 1 PTSD with the show any longer.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm speaking as someone particularly who didn't see season 1. I started it, and you guys were like, "Don't waste your time, just get season 2." So I followed your advice and got on board with season 2. And I was afraid that an episode this steeped in the internal lore of the show would be an emotional miss for me, or like I wouldn't be able to relate. But they did a really good job of establishing the connections and the characters and the motivations really early on, and it was a fast moving episode, which I really enjoyed. And I think that this was not heavy on the action part, but as far as character growth in a lot of different sectors, it was really good to watch.
I agree. I hate to say this, but sometimes when I'm watching, I look down, I'm like, Jesus, we're only 15 minutes in. Whereas this episode, I looked down, I was like, we're at the 40-minute mark. How did we get here so fast? It moved really well, and I need them to keep that kind of pacing up.
It moved really fast. I liked the episode. There were some really cheesy moments, but it's kind of what I've come to expect from Supergirl when it comes to.
Yeah, that Supergirl didn't get cheesy. Supergirl went Supergirl. Like, that's just what the show does.
It was just, I was like, really? Is this what we're doing? But I really actually enjoyed the fight scenes, which I'm not a huge fight scene person. I tend to zone out on fight scenes. I really enjoyed these fight scenes. I really enjoyed the visual effects this week. All of these CW shows have done an amazing job visually this season, but in particular, this episode, the visual effects were not only good, they felt realistic. Like, I didn't feel like I was like, I'm saying like a lot and I'm trying to catch myself. I didn't feel like I saw wires.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I think it is good CGI. I'm not saying it's not, but I also feel like our bar is lower because of what CBS gave.
Well, no, I think you're right. The bar is kind of internally lower. Like, I just watched The Flash, and you can hear about that on my podcast. That's what we call it. That's called plug. But what I think helped this episode is that the fight scenes all had emotional resonance.
Yes.
because we were invested. That's why the CGI was par for the course, maybe a little better, but more than anything, I cared when Dean Cain punched John Jones in the face, which I shouldn't have enjoyed as much as I did, but I don't know why. I just really enjoyed him getting hit.
And the fact that he didn't want, you could tell he did not want to fight him, but he had to finish his mission. Like,
it was good. The acting was really top notch all around this episode.
The acting, also that initial rescuing Jeremiah scene before they knew they were rescuing Jeremiah, they flipped the truck, guys. They flipped the truck. Things blew up.
Oh, that mug slowed down. John phased through it. We rewound that one about 3 or 4 times.
It was an intense fight scene. I should probably rewatch it because I fell asleep the first time I watched the episode. Nothing to do with the show. I had just come from a dance class. I was super tired. And then the other scene, the train scene, was really well done. When she holds up that, I don't know, steel bar to keep the train, and the train goes across her back.
It's the railroad track?
Yes.
It's the other part
of what you're looking for?
Yes. And she holds it, and it goes across her back. It was really well done.
It was a Superman moment.
It was. We were watching it in a group together, and someone was like, wait, that space is too long. She's not that tall. She can't do the Superman thing. I'm like, she gonna figure this out. She gonna say this damn train. Just you watch. And she sure did.
It was amazing. I was really surprised. I'm not usually too impressed by Kara's strength, but that felt like a legit Superman moment.
And another thing is, it felt like it had weight. Like, you felt clearly it's CGI, but it didn't feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes the CGI can feel light, or like there's no real force behind it. This it communicated the whole thing really well.
She was struggling. It wasn't easy for her to do that. It wasn't like when she walks in and she just punches a guy like 30 times her size. It was good. Let's see. So plot A. Jeremiah. Jeremiah is rescued by Kara and the DEO, and he is immediately suspect. No one wants to act like he isn't immediately suspect, even though he clearly is. And then Monel is the first one to be suspicious. Then Kara, they kind of all get on board. By the time they start becoming suspicious, he's basically sabotaged the DEO and stolen the National Alien Registry for Cadmus, and also fights with John and fights with Alex, who's like the only one who believes him the whole time. So that's the basic A plot. What did you guys think about the moment? My favorite moment, which was Monel, when he initially says that he's suspicious of Jeremiah.
And party like they just didn't care.
The thing I loved about this is he starts off so calmly. I'm not going to make a big deal. I have my suspicion. I just think it's funny how he gets to walk right into the DEO like he hasn't been missing for years.
And y'all waited 2 weeks before you let me pee by myself.
And
he's got really good points.
He also did it at family dinner, though. Like, they were having a toast. And he's just like, yeah, I think it's really great that you're back, even though it's kind of weird that we're just letting you back into the group. It's like, he's the worst. You so easily in. He is the absolute worst. I loved how Alex immediately jumped in his ass.
And that was the part I did not like.
I didn't like it, but I liked it.
It was too much of a callback to the Alex from season 1.
See? Okay. But as someone who didn't see season 1, I think Alex was the best thing in this episode.
Really? Even though she was the most daffy?
But that's
No.
why, because if everyone else is still like is that quick to turn their back, not even turn their back, to buy into suspicion, and you can see how she really communicated how much she wanted it to be true.
Yeah.
Like, the actress really gave us that, and her not being able to say the words to Maggie when she asked how the day went.
Now that was a powerful
Mm-hmm.
scene.
Like, I think I see what you're saying. I mean, I can understand the idea about what you're saying, that Alex was a bit more hard-headed in season 1, but this is like, I think that particularly for her, like the line of either you're family or you're not, like, she attacked her sister because she's so happy to have her dad back.
It was it's frustrating from a character perspective, but amazing from an acting perspective, and also as an audience member. Watching her jump in everyone's ass was amazing. The way she just immediately went there. She was like, "Are you trying to say something about my father? Do you have something to say to me about my father?" It was she was ready to whip Monel's ass at family dinner. When he walked out the door, when he was like, maybe I should go. Yeah, maybe you should go. When he walked out the door, she was leaning against the table. Like, I think her mom was talking to her, and she was like leaning against the counter. And it was that moment of like, I was going to jump in his ass. Thank God you held me back, because I was about to jump in his ass. Did you see me? Because I was going to have to go after him. It was so perfect.
Although Mama Danvers wasn't here for him either. She's like, I love you and I'm with you, but I don't know you.
That was like really that was fast.
That came out of nowhere, but
She
also
came
it
straight
was
just that we're done with
immediate.
this. It was not even like, it wasn't even like a holy moly you're still alive thing. It was like a, don't touch me.
I knew something was off the moment she saw him. When she walks in the door and he goes, Eliza, and they rush to each other, but they don't kiss.
Yeah.
That was the moment I was like, something is weird here. If you haven't seen your husband in 11 years,
15.
15 years,
15.
how do you not kiss him the minute you see him? I thought
She's seeing this other dude.
I thought that was what it was gonna be.
She's seeing this young dude. He's a CrossFit instructor. Yeah, he's not the smartest guy, but they're having fun.
You done made up a whole world for this dude.
Oh no, it's fine.
And it would make sense too, because Eliza doesn't live in National City. Kara and Alex wouldn't know if their mom was dating someone new. So I thought that was going to be like the twist, that we were going to find out that she's actually like dating someone else.
I guess her suspicion makes sense, though, because she knows what Katniss is about, and especially what's happened this season. Remember, she helped cure John from the alien disease, but she also had to retrofit to combat that virus Lillian was trying to release. So for her, she's seen firsthand what they're up to. And now to have her husband, who's been with them for 15 years, just stroll back in, I'm just suspicious that way. I'd be a little hesitant, too, to just be jumping back in.
I don't know if I
Still
think
my-
that it was a Cadmus thing. I think it legit is a we've grown apart thing. Or I don't know you anymore thing. But I knew something was off from the minute she didn't kiss him.
Yeah.
And then, so Monel calls out Daddy Danvers, and then Daddy Danvers out of nowhere is just like, I know who you are.
Can
we talk about this now?
Yes.
Yes, because that was the one that kind of bothered me.
Why did it bother you?
Because how?
Because they're already working with the slavers who are looking for him. Remember the I guess bounty hunters afterwards?
Yes, I remember the bounty hunter.
They were working with Cadmus. Of course, Cadmus knows about aliens.
How do we know working with?
And he's a Daxamite prince. Like, that's it. He's the prince of Daxam.
Right, we know that. That's not the issue. But how? I've seen the bounty hunters. The last time we saw the bounty hunters was when they gripped up. Oh gosh, Veronica. When she with the slave. Yes, okay. But we haven't seen them on Earth interacting with anybody, and she never mentioned Cadmus.
I don't know how he knows. I was really annoyed by the fact. My reaction to it was, share, please. If you know, can you at least let the
No,
audience
see,
know?
no, but this time, finally, at least, it's someone else. Because it was addressed, I think, 3 or 4 episodes ago, and it hasn't been mentioned since. So this means to me that maybe finally, just finally, we're going to move this ball forward.
I hope
Yeah.
so, because at this point, whatever it is, it needs to come out. I get why they're
I'm here on
holding it
hope.
back. I think they want Kara and Monel to get closer before they reveal that he's been lying. I get it. It's more dramatic, but I'm ready. Tell me what it is. Tell me who. I have my theories. We all have our theories. He's the Daxamite Prince. All of that. Why is he lying? Who is after him? Can we get there? Can we please get there? It's just really
Because I
frustrating.
really don't want them to make the mistake of shoehorning it all in the last episode.
Yes, which is something that I felt like they kind of did last season with what was the Project MacGuffin last year?
Myriad.
Myriad. Thank you. They did the same thing where you got like all the Myriad stuff in the last 2 or 3 episodes, and it was very rushed. So I don't want that to happen for Cadmus. Actually, I hope that Cadmus kind of what's the not the rogues, because rogues are people. It becomes like an ongoing thing. Like, I hope they don't defeat it at the end of the season. I hope it's a thing that sticks around.
Yeah. Because I don't want to. I guess, I get the allure of a big bad every season, but I don't know that every show has to have a big bad every season. They can have the same bad. Or not a big bad, but a new big bad.
Right.
Exactly. It's the Buffy
Well,
model. That's really what it is.
even the Buffy model had its subversions with Angel, kind of Wolfram and Hart being the overlying bad guy.
Yeah,
Cadmus could kind of be their Wolfram and Hart,
exactly. That's
Exactly.
what I would like to see.
like the source of all their problems, but you can't actually snuff it out. And that would actually tie into all the other depictions of Cadmus in other media. We talk about uh, everywhere it's used in the DC universe, it's always one, a shady, borderline, or over the line evil organization, and two, it never goes away.
Yeah, that would be great.
This is why Dpalm is here, you guys. For exactly these nuggets. Um, then what else with this one? So the big fight between John and Daddy Danvers, and then Alex and her father. Those were two really nice emotional moments. I think we saw Daddy Danvers is conflicted. He's not all bad.
He's not all in. I'm laughing because my kids think I ain't shit. We were watching this last night, and when he says, if you want me, you'll have to kill me. And my youngest looked at me, he's like, Mom, could you do it? I was like, I would have shot him in the knees before he got the word shootout. What are you talking about? What he just got through doing?
I'm not gonna lie. My note for that one too was I'd have shot him.
Mine is actually, why didn't she shoot him? I don't understand, because he's like, you'll have to kill me. He's like, no, I won't. You can't walk if I blow out your kneecap. Like, what are you talking about?
Thank you. I'm like, how is this an ongoing conversation?
There are way more options besides killing him.
Also, the fact that Alex bared her soul. How could you? All these people, we love you, your friends, your family, all. And his response was, family is complicated, honey.
He basically hit him with the Marlowe, do it or don't, I got places to be.
Once he said the family is complicated, honey, that was the line where you shoot him. You shoot out his kneecaps. That was the line. Oh, really?
It actually felt like the line Coulson gave the Russian in that last episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Cool story, bro. I'm out.
I ain't got time for you. Your drama.
I'm on the clock. Let's go.
No one cares about your origin story, your villain origin story.
That's exactly what it felt like.
Oh, gosh. So, oh, and then also his line to John when he says, "Sorry, friend, I've changed." This is what I mean by cheesy.
Yeah, that was a little cheesy.
Sorry,
No,
friend, I've
no, that wasn't even the
changed.
cheesiest part of that exchange. You're a Cadmus man. I'm like, oh, that was not a good line.
Also, earlier in the episode, the hug between John and Jeremiah. It was such a cheesy moment when they meet at the dinner and he gives his little speech about John and all this, and he's all like, "And I'm so happy to be back here and help you guys save the earth."
And you kept your promise to me. Thank you, friend.
Oh God, so cheesy.
But I love it, though. It worked.
Right? Like it's Supergirl. Like what? Of course it's cheesy.
Gosh,
What show have you been watching?
I know, but wow, especially
If
because Dean
if it
Cain
happened on
has
Agents of
that.
Shield, I'd be really weirded out.
Exactly. Dean Cain has that frat boy face where he has that like cheesy smile. Like, I don't know. It's just something about it. His face plus the lines. It's just an extra level of cheese. It's like cheese whiz. I don't know.
That's always been Dean Cain's face, though.
True. That's where it
Even
Yeah,
works
when
so
you just
well.
this is just you not liking his face. That's
I
nothing to
love
do with the
his
show.
face. I don't know what you're
no,
talking about. I love his face.
pardon my language, Dean Cain is fine as fuck. What are you talking
Exactly. I would totally do some things to his face that are X-rated that I
about?
can't talk about on this podcast. But
But somehow you just did. It's amazing.
We are the PG-13 version of the podcast, the NTR Network podcast, Super Tuesday.
I'm just saying, like, it could get a little triple X up in here if we start really talking about Dean Cain. But
Pearls, because I don't go there.
the other thing that was the other thing that was really annoying to me was, as much as I love Alex jumping in everybody's behind, I hate when someone sees somebody doing something and then confronts that person and they go, "Are you spying on me?" So that, I think it was Kara, when was like, "I saw your dad doing something
Are you spying on?
creepy. Are you spying on him?" No, I saw him doing something weird. That's not spying.
I was doing my job, and he was where he wasn't supposed to be.
Exactly. It's just like that. That's just my pet peeve. That's not spying. That's not how spying works. I didn't
That's how a
follow him.
cheater answers that question.
Exactly.
You calling other girls? You go through my phone? What is wrong with you? What's that say about you?
I appreciated when bringing her to talk to Manel, and Manel was like, "Oh no, do a 180. We're gonna talk about this." He toes this line between being very, what's the word, old timey, and also very like quick witted. So all his expressions are like, "Gee whiz," but all of the things he does are very like quick and sly. So I really enjoy that. Again, he has a different set of writers. I appreciate it. So then, anything else on the Jeremiah end? I mean, we'll talk more about it when we get to like theories for what's coming up.
Let me see. I'm trying to see. I talked about not liking the Jeremiah knowing them rap. No, that's all I got.
Okay. So the B plot is Mana and Kara are now together.
They fucking.
Hashtag they fucking. Waking up in bed together. Well, not waking up in bed together. Waking up in bed. We got a wonderful shirtless scene of Chris Wood. Thank you, CW. She asked him not to tell everybody they're dating. He immediately tells everybody that they're dating. It becomes an even bigger issue because then he starts accusing Daddy Danvers of being suspicious. And she rightfully says that he doesn't listen to her, that he bulldozes her. She asks him to, like, give her dad the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't. She asked him to not tell everybody they're dating. He doesn't. And so now Monel's trying to be a better partner. What did you guys think of this?
It worked. These last couple of episodes, I haven't. Okay, so all season I've been kind of rooting for it because I'm like, they're kind of cute together. And since that kiss with her and Jimmy fell like wet fish last season, and I will own that forever, I was for it. And in these last couple of episodes, I'm like, this feels too much like CW melodrama bullshit. I'm not here for it. But this episode, it felt more like an adult maturing relationship between two people who weren't quite sure how to approach it. I appreciated that they didn't have her the entire episode being a butt, because I hate that they write her sometimes as being a complete butt the entire episode, but how they, when they were like, will you listen? This isn't about us. Listen to the facts. Listen to what we're telling you. And then she trusts and really starts to think. I'm like, finally, let's go. Let's grow her. Let's do this. So I didn't mind it. I liked it. I thought it was weird. Well, I didn't think it was weird, but I thought it was quirky that they had her bringing him flowers.
I liked that little version of that.
I liked it too. And coffee. Just so you know, if we have sex and I wake up to coffee and flowers, we'll probably have sex again.
You heard it here first, MTR.
You did a good job. Did a good job. Also, I really like Kara in general this episode because Alex was such an asshole. And the fact that once it came out that Daddy Danvers was horrible, that Kara didn't once say, I told you so, I was like, look at her growing. Look at her being better.
I just said I told you so.
I know.
Now, she just went more in her own way, although I was like, Alex, where are these apologies? Where you need to get on this apology tour, honey.
No, she was not about to do that. So what did you think of the, I don't know, how were, give us the male perspective, Dpalm, like, how are the men feeling about the ships on this show?
I know what ships are, sadly, because Chris mentioned them once. I think everything works. Like, none of it feels forced. None of it feels awkward. The Win one is a weird little subplot that I guess they're going to let that build to somewhere, but I guess they're going to give him more emotional resonance with whatever's coming next with the registry being taken. I think the Monel thing works. I think that the couple of false starts we had earlier this season feel almost like they were just stretching the plot line out. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they finally moved forward with it. I am glad that it looks like Monel, as opposed to having the one episode worth of growth so that he could overcome the specific thing that Kara's mad about, it seemed like he went to Win with like, and Win gave advice that supersedes an episode. It's not a one-time thing. So hopefully we can get Monel actually growing as a character. Now I hope they're moving his plot forward, because I think that's going to be kind of essential for the end of this thing.
I think so too. I really like that he acknowledges that he's not a good partner. Part of it is his upbringing. Apparently, Daxon plays very fast and loose with the monogamous relationships. I appreciate that he says, I want to be a better partner, though. I want to get there. That whole scene with him and Win, and Win's creepily touchy-feely girlfriend,
Sarah.
Yes, who just refers to Monel as Win's friend. Hi, Win's friend. The way that it's two guys having that conversation and Win articulating that Kara doesn't need him to be like a typical macho man or take charge. She wants to be heard. She wants to be listened to, which I think all women want.
Right.
I really appreciated that conversation, and that he takes that stuff in and he tries to change. I think his arc has been interesting in general because he is somebody who clearly wants to learn and be better. Unlike some other characters on this show who keep regressing, Kara. He clearly wants to grow and be better. So I appreciate that from Monel. And he has the best lines. That whole scene where he walks in and he tells everybody that they're dating. He's like, yes, we're dating. Yes, it's awesome. Yes, you should be jealous. Yeah.
Any further questions? You in the back? You had your hand up? No? Okay, maybe. Anyone else?
He didn't just come in and say, and yes, we did just have sex and it was awesome.
I was waiting for that.
I know.
I was waiting for that.
That is something we would do.
And then when he said, I know, I have 2 strikes. She was like, this is not baseball. This is not, you do not keep striking out, bruh.
He's like, I should probably get ready for a really hard sparring session. She's like, yeah, think?
Yeah.
Kick your ass.
Oh my God, it reminded me of fences, all those baseball metaphors. Doing the most. Oh, and John's reaction. Okay,
oh, yes,
that's great. You have to report to HR. Fill these out in triplicate.
No, y'all got paperwork now. What?
I
thought you'd be happy for me.
Kara's like, we have an HR.
I mean, because let's be real. Does she have a W-9? How is she getting paid for all this saving the world? Is it a contract? Does she invoice them? I want to know. Because how is she paying for that loft, too? Anyway, I have a lot of questions about that. What else? Anything else? There were just a lot of good moments in this.
There were.
She mentioned the nose breaking thing.
Yes.
When they kiss. And I was like, we have never heard of this before. I feel like this is some like weird thing we've never heard of Kara having to like be super duper careful with the guys that she dates, and we've never ever had heard of this before.
Well, especially because she kissed Jimmy just fine.
Mm-hmm. Didn't seem like she was holding back there.
Oh, so yeah.
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 I didn't even register for me. I forgot about that line.
Notice or okay.
I was like, I thought they were just trying to be cute, but I have some side eyes of the week.
Oh wait, I'm not there yet. There was one other thing. Oh, it actually blends over. So can I just talk about the good thing in a way it turned into a side eye?
Mm-hmm.
Alex is coming out to her father.
Oh.
It was natural, but his response, I feel like the writers tried to insert some portion of Dean Cain's personality into it because it felt a little bit like a sneak diss.
I'm offended you think Dean Cain has a personality.
Oh, leave Dean Cain alone.
I found him on Twitter and he was problematic as fuck. So.
See?
I saw him at a convention and I wrote a whole article about it.
Oh, God.
He was very nice at the convention. But I assume he has to be.
I don't go into work and say, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, fuck you. You're going out, even though some days I want to. I gotta get paid.
Exactly. He was a lot has changed in 15 years. The man has been away for 15 years. There was a whole acceptance of LGBT people that happened while he was locked away in Cadmus.
You've got a good point, though. There really was. A lot of advancement in 15 years.
Just saying. I thought he did it good. And are you talking about the line where he said,
well, no man
would ever be good enough for, it was cute. He was trying to be cute. It was a dad joke.
It was that's very accurate.
It's a dad
Where's
joke.
that meme of that dude from that rap battle with that red Solo cup? My side eye real quick, I had a couple. Mine is probably yours. Where is James?
That's 2 weeks in a row, right?
2 weeks in a row. And then Makad had the nerve to tweet like, "Hey, I'm just in the airport. What's going on with Supergirl?" I'm like, "Where the fuck are you?"
You're like, well, you're nowhere in this episode, so let's start there, sir.
Like, get your ass to work, sir.
I told you last week I didn't want him put in an episode where he's not going to have any worth or value, or they're just going to make him jealous of Kara and Mon-El. This episode, though, would have worked to have him in because of all the stuff that we got about him and his father last season.
Yeah.
So I think there could have been some really good moments with him and Kara, or even him and Alex, about fathers. And that's what made it more disappointing that he wasn't in this episode. The thing is, I think when they do finally bring him back, it is going to be to just have him be jealous over Kara and Mon-El, and it's going to make me angry.
They kind of underplayed that all year, though. I hope you're wrong. Is that all I can say?
I hope so, too.
You say you feel like they underplayed it?
Well, I think that they've gone more into the Guardian thing than in any of the jealousy aspects. That's kind of been the defining characteristic of their relationship this season. So, you just awakened a fear I didn't know was there, because I was really disappointed in the show if they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially earlier in the season, I don't know if you caught it, Dpalm, they did this revisionist history thing where Kara tried to make it seem like she got dumped when she was doing the dumping. So I don't know
Yeah.
if
They've been doing that. They've been doing that lately, where they try to make it seem like she wasn't the one who orchestrated this whole breakup
Right.
they're
out of nowhere for no reason. But that's a whole nother story. We could do a whole episode just on that.
my only other side eye is, and this was something that I didn't think about until I looked through the feedback. So I'm going to shout out the person who brought it up. I believe it was Michael. Michael T. Yeah, it was Michael T. Where the DEO, Star Labs is one thing, but at least Star Labs isn't like manned or there aren't employees. They have really recently been writing the DEO as completely dysfunctional and a stupidly run entity.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't like that Hank Henshaw just seems to be nothing but muscle when he ran this agency for years. He's just there as the brawn, and I'm like, what?
Well, that should communicate just how smart Cadmus is.
Yes.
So my issue related to that is Hank Henshaw and this ridiculous metal helmet mask thing that they have on poor David Harewood. Why?
It looked even worse this week.
Who thought this was okay? It really looks like they created this like face mask thing, and then somebody was supposed to go in and like digitally make it look better, and they just forgot. I cannot.
This show is very expensive. They got to cut their corners where they can.
And I keep saying they I thought they had blown their budget last week when they animated the ice sculpture of Jor-El. So that looked really good.
Yeah. I just
Well, you can tell they did last week because a lot of the sets this week were like nondescript warehouses, and the inside of the DEO, and then the woods. Those are the three big set pieces of this episode.
That's a good point. They didn't go anywhere.
so ridiculous. And then in general, we have your faves are problematic. I am sorry, people, but I officially don't think I like Maggie anymore, and it has nothing to do with the character. It has everything to do with the actress. I need to stop letting real life things creep into my shows, but it's really, really hard.
Why do you want to know anything about these people?
I don't.
Then avoid it.
No, our face.
What happened was that somebody posted a picture or like a headline that, was like Casey Affleck steps out with new girlfriend at the Oscars, and it was her. And I'm just like, And this is coming off of Casey Affleck just taking Denzel Washington's things, and he's
Sexual predator.
assault. Yeah, he's, you
Aggie
know,
being not Latino and playing one.
yeah, it's just a lot. So I'm trying not to. I'm like, woosah, woosah. But I'm not gonna lie. When she first came on the screen, when she walked in at the little family dinner, I was like, she could turn her ass right back around. I don't care. It's just like that.
You don't go.
That notwithstanding, the last scene with her and Alex was really beautiful. I was very happy with that. Also because I think the actress who plays Alex has like at least 4 or 5 inches on her. So it was really like sweet to like see this like taller, bigger woman like breaking down in her like little petite girlfriend's arms. It was very cute.
No, I agree.
No, I thought it was a really good scene. You're right. Yeah.
Um, Predictions or things that we think are going to happen.
I'm gonna say, Dpalm, were there any issues that you had with the
Oh yeah.
episode? Not that you
No,
have.
I really liked it. I thought it was well balanced. Like I said, the emotional stuff kind of carried it, and that was a good thing for this. I think because I think you guys mentioned it's been kind of up and down since it came back, and this has really been the second of a string of 2 good episodes. And I'm happy to see them get back on track. I'm happy to see these subplots moving forward. I think that the show has now they've written from this point forward. They've said, oh, we know how we're going to hit our beats from here. We just had a middle part that was kind of disjointed.
Okay. I'm glad they acknowledge that.
There's another Kevin Smith episode coming up this season. I saw him tweet Instagramming like set visits and stuff. So
I listened to his. Well, it's not even really a podcast anymore. It's a YouTube show. Him and Mark
Fat Man on
Bernardin.
Batman.
Fat Man on Batman. It's one of my favorites.
It's still a podcast. That's how I
get him.
That's how I get it.
It's because it's a YouTube thing, and I know I can watch it. Listening to it makes me feel like I'm missing stuff, so I watch it now. But
Wow.
I know they have just the audio, but then they do the reviews of the trailers sometimes, and I want to watch them reacting to it. So. Also, Mark Bernardin is my podcast crush.
Is he?
I met him at San Diego last year, and I was like, "You're Mark Bernardin. Hi." He's so cute. Anyway. He also has occasionally interacted with me on Twitter. Anyway,
Did you just brag?
I'm blushing. That's not actually. I'm like blushing.
You are
Because I have a crush on him. It's really bad.
Hey, I get geeked anytime Tony Todd retweets me or interacts with me. So
Ooh.
he was one of my first follows. I'm so humble.
He actually just left the LA Times, and he's going to be writing for a TV show.
Yep.
I'm really.
Y'all need hobbies.
Why?
I'm just playing.
Why? Because I know a lot about Mark Bernardin's personal life.
Look, I barely leave the house except to go to work. I have to have some level of entertainment.
Fair enough.
So he was.
In 3 years, when I'm down to one child in the house, maybe I'll get out more.
They were talking about the upcoming Supergirl episode for a while on Batman, so I'm excited. Predictions for what's coming up.
Now, question, that vessel, is that the old Fort Ross prison that they're retrofitting? It looks like it is.
It might be.
You may not recognize it because you didn't really watch season 1, but I'm asking.
I didn't watch any of season 1.
Yes, Shannon, I feel like I got that might have been the old Fort Ross prison that they had grabbed a hold of and are retrofitting.
I couldn't tell. It felt not. I don't know if it was just my screen when I was watching, if it was dark. It felt very dark, so I couldn't tell exactly what it was. I initially thought it was some sort of like helicarrier. I thought we were going very Marvel. It looked like some sort of like helicarrier. It looks like something that will fly and or disperse something.
Are they
perhaps.
just going to drop the aliens over the city?
Oh,
Oh, well, I thought since they were going to pile all the aliens in there, attach that bomb, and send it into
I thought
space.
it was going to be something similar to the chemical agent they released, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay. I just want to know I don't know if this is a prediction. I want to know what it is that they're holding over Jeremiah's head.
The question is, are they holding anything over?
Yeah, I was about to say, he may not be all the way in with the tactics, but he seems to be on the team.
Right, with the mission. Like, he'll spare John and Kara if he can because he loves them. But
he's team get aliens out the paint.
Oh,
yeah.
You guys think he's team anti-alien?
Oh yeah.
Except he's a Trump voter that is upset that his friends are being deported. That's who Jeremiah is.
But he seems
I can't
to
top
like Monel. He seemed to like Monel too.
Not really.
I mean, until Monel started being
Monel.
started being suspicious of him. Him and Monel, like when they first rolled in, I had forgot that they had already met, and they were just like, "Hey, yo, what's up? Haven't seen you in a minute. Haven't seen you since we was captured by Cadmus. Word." Like I was just like, "When did y'all become best friends?"
He can't just come in on this undercover mission like, "Ooh, fuck you, alien." He can't do that. He's got to.
He's got to play the part.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think that at all. I do not want him to be anti-alien. I wanted to be that someone is forcing him to do this for some reason. I just couldn't figure out what, because one of your daughters is a superhero and the other one like fights aliens on the regular. So I was like, could they be threatening their lives? How? I didn't get it. But now that makes sense and I'm sad.
Well, I mean, it could be, what Patty Hearst, what syndrome does she have? I'm blanking. Stockholm. Could be Stockholm syndrome. He's been with them so long that maybe he, it might just be Stockholm syndrome. You sit under someone's thumb for 15 years, modifying humans and aliens and all this tech, and after a while, it's all you know. So you start.
Or maybe he just bought in.
That could be too.
Okay. All right, guys. Wait a.
These are just theories.
Okay. Anything else? Now that you've heard.
Are you ready for the feedback?
Yeah.
First.
Okay, I have an email here from our good friend Mo over at TV Movie Mistress, who guest hosted with us a few weeks back. Her email says, "Hi ladies, my feedback is about last week's episode as well as this week. I love listening to your podcast every week, and your podcast is a must for me. You guys make standing Kara easier." We try. We try.
We're all in together. Oh God, I just quoted High School Musical.
It's a great song. Oh, sorry. I just had a moment because I'm also watching Powerless on Hulu. I watched that this this morning, and that's a pretty funny show. The Valentine's Day episode was cute, and they should have done everything they could to make sure it aired on Valentine's Day. Yes, I agree. Same goes for The Flash, which I believe is having its Gorilla / Valentine's Day episode tonight.
It did feel real late.
Both of these shows had the opportunity to air in conjunction with actual Valentine's Day, and
they
just
want to
didn't.
fight S.H.I.E.L.D. that night.
Oh God,
that's a good point.
It's that S.H.I.E.L.D. fear.
No.
Well, okay, that's the Flash's excuse. That's no excuse for Supergirl. She comes on Monday.
Exactly, and it came on that week. I don't understand. And I think maybe this goes back to, I don't know if you guys read that article about why the four-way crossover wasn't a true crossover.
I did, yeah.
So basically what the producer said was that Supergirl transitioning from CBS, they have these built-in off days for the other shows because they realized to juggle all the shows, they had to build in these off days and to make it work so that, you know, all these shows could come together for these crossovers. They had these things built in, but because Supergirl was transitioning over from CBS, it didn't already have a schedule that aligned with the other shows, and it needed an off day during the time when they were filming the crossover. So that's why it wasn't a true part of the crossover event. I think maybe this is a similar situation. I don't think they like really planned ahead and looked at the calendar, because Valentine's Day this year fell on your day. Why do you not have your Valentine's Day episode on the day? I just wanted my West Allen moment with some hearts and all of that on Valentine's Day.
Or once you find out you're not going to do it, then just don't do a Valentine's Day episode.
Exactly.
Don't point out that you missed it.
Oh, so frustrating. Anyway, the gentleman chosen to play Mixie was perfect. He was fine. And
Your guy from Queen of the South.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's getting renewed, but I hope it does.
I didn't watch that show. It's another one just in the many shows that come out that I was not able to watch. I do remember seeing previews for that show and going, all of these men are fine. I should really check this show out.
So in the spirit of transparency, I haven't seen it either because USA is hit or miss for me. But I just loved seeing a Latina-led show. I just want to see more people of color with their shows in the mainstream. So I'm rooting for it either way. I'm going to get around to watching it, but yeah, I'm rooting for it. I just do.
Mo continues. He pulls off the charming psychopathic villain with immature feelings to perfection. They even got me to care about Wynn dating that alien. True. The actor playing Mon-El is perfect, as Kara finally has chemistry. But again, I think that's due to the actor playing Mon-El. I hope that doesn't mean that Jimmy gets sidelined. Oh, it's happening. Clearly, it's happening. Yeah. Jimmy is sidelined.
Jimmy who?
Sir. They better not get rid of the other black man on this show. I will riot.
The other fine black man on this show, too. This week's episode started off strong with Mon-El all sexy and shirtless in Kara's apartment, but faltered in the middle with the insanity that was Kara and Alex's dad returning and them not seeing the writing on the wall with him. They all need to apologize to Mon-El, and if it was me, I would be petty as fuck about it. They keep talking to him mad reckless, and I am not here for that. But the entire episode just felt like plot. They saved it again with Mon-El at the end. Can't wait to listen. Bye.
Okay, real quick. She just brought something up that I hadn't considered. Where was Mon-El in the forest? It was just Alex and Kara.
I could see that, though. I could see them not sending Mon-El to go after
He wasn't on the
dad.
mission. Yeah, he wasn't on the mission.
Yeah.
Sorry about the background. I live near a firehouse and there's something going on outside, so I'm sorry if the mic catches that.
No. I was thinking about that. I'm trying to remember. He was on the mission with them before Daddy Danvers turned on everybody.
The warehouse, yeah.
At the warehouse. Maybe he was just back at the DEO. I could see them not wanting to send I could see them wanting to go after their father together.
Yeah. I can see that.
Okay.
All right, back in the group, Joseph asks, "Hey Joseph, we just did the Doctor Who premium podcast.
Nice.
The Danvers sisters are the worst."
Open strong.
Mon-El was the voice of reason. I'm not comfortable with that. Wynn is finally happy and not pining over somebody that don't want him. Where the hell is Jimmy? And last but not least, don't trust that new Danvers over there. Talking about Jeremiah.
Telling you.
Amon H says, so nobody at the DEO believes in any protocols whatsoever. What kind of medical evaluations are you even doing where you don't notice a metal arm?
Thank you. I'm glad someone said
okay. Way to bring that up. Okay.
Because they said you have nerve damage, which means you had to at least run an X-ray or MRI.
I was wondering about that.
Or you could have touched his arm.
I know. Everybody hugging him.
They're all fixing his arm, fixing his hand. You have nerve damage in your hand. Nobody felt no metal. No metal. He didn't walk through a metal detector on his way into the DEO.
No, girl. I said, that's the DEO is basically the library. Anybody can walk up in there. Oh my God.
That was ridiculous. That was so ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
And John, you really didn't try to read his mind until the last possible minute. That's like not running the ball when all you need is a field goal to win the Super Bowl.
This is why I'm on here. I'll leave. This is an ambush. I will hang up right now.
I don't know.
I don't give a damn. I will hang up.
Don't leave.
Feels like a
I really
trap.
Jimmy and Monel to have a "we told you so" Kara moment. Or really just any Jimmy at all. But if she specifically sent Jeremiah, we can assume Mama Luther knows Kara is Supergirl, and by extension, Lena does too, right? This is chess, not checkers. That is a good point. That is a good point.
I already think that even without the Cadmus connection, that Lena knows that Kara is Supergirl.
Yeah, I think Lillian probably found out via Jeremiah, but Lena probably did the math herself.
Mm-hmm.
Rashawn says, okay, the Danvers should know good things don't happen to them like that. Case in point, you get your dad back after 15 years, and there wasn't a life or death battle to get him back is an issue. Monel is the voice of reason, and I need Kara to stop dismissing him and his thoughts. She still ain't apologized. Wynn is doing everything right. He has his own girl, has his friendship with Kara, and sharing Netflix password with Monel. He is the one true friend we all need. Also, I expect Jimmy to be away from these white people this week because he must have saw Get Out and rethinking on his and wondering if Jenna Lane ever did anything to him over the years.
I will buy that. I will buy that Jimmy saw Get Out and he was like, I don't know why I'm fucking with these white people.
It's kind of like when John bounced at Thanksgiving because of that dry ass turkey.
Exactly. Okay, now that somebody else mentioned it, it reminds me. My other prediction. So we know Wynn's alien girlfriend is dying, right?
Like, I think she's gonna be on that ship. She's on that ship.
Yeah. She's on the ship, yeah.
Yeah. She's casualty number one. She's how they find out what the plan is after they kill her.
Moji says again for the podcast. Oh, damn it. I said I'll read this one, Moji, but I'm not reading the rest of this damn thread. Dean Cain got chubby, y'all. He wasn't even this chubby last season. Like, the cameraman didn't even want to pan out during his scenes. Moji, you was doing it on Twitter. I'm going to tell you again, stop that shit. We get old, our waistlines expand. It happens. That man is 50. Leave him be.
I too am fighting this. I get it. I would still do Dean Cain, though. He could still get it.
He could. Okay, sorry. Lisa Richard.
I mean,
Dpalm, are you still there? Did we lose him?
No, I'm still here.
Like, did he hang up on us? Lisa says he needs to apologize to Kara. I'm sorry, she meant Alex. Alex needs to apologize to Kara, and Kara needs to apologize to Monel. So rude tonight. I don't care about a chubby Dean Cain. We all get older. If you could see me, Lisa, I'm holding up the black power fist. That's right, girl.
Black power fist.
Y'all, okay, I'm only doing one more of these, and then after that, I'm going to skip them. Y'all going to stop. Sherrod, just 3 comments. Dean Cain is way out of shape. I almost run to the gym after watching. I started to think he was part robot. Cadmus pulled an LMD light on the DEO. I said it before, but Kara's going to blow it with Monel because actions like she did in this episode. She's getting close to season 1 Barry at this point. The Barry fade. So Michael T left a few, so I'll just read them all together. Can we discuss that apparently the DEO doesn't have a security desk? Folks just walk up into the main situation room without so much as a visitor's pass, let alone a lanyard. At least Star Labs had budget cut. He's shows. Because weren't they just, back when I watched Arrow, it felt like they were just strolling into the Arrow cave, too.
Oh my
They don't pay.
gosh.
They don't pay for security.
How hard is it to put in a couple of alarms? I just, some
A
motion.
tripwire.
Yes, motion detectors, anything. This is really
A
ridiculous.
doorbell. Give me something.
Lock the door when you come in.
Yeah.
Damn.
How about one of y'all lock the door?
He also says, I'm so glad the show didn't make a whole thing about Kara getting some for the first time. Do we? Yeah, we're assuming this is her first time.
No, this is not Kara's first time having sex.
She went and did a whole bunch of work and got him flowers. This was her first time.
Oh, I hope not. Oh God, no. Kara, she's like what, 25?
Yeah, but you heard her say that she was breaking noses. She probably didn't want to break pelvises too.
Oh God. Oh, I hope this isn't her first time.
You're
Rebuke
really
this.
expressing hope for a fictional character.
I
You know she's not real, right? It's
I
gonna be all
just
right.
I just rebuke that whole notion that she's like 20 something. What about
Nothing wrong with that.
what about Kara, college Kara? You don't think college Kara got some?
No, with kisses. She was probably afraid.
No wonder she acts like a 12-year-old.
Damn.
Ma'am.
Just saying.
And she said, and I appreciate her not only having a post-coital glow, but using it to bust some bad guys. I'm curious as to what her bed is made of, though, because on Smallville, Clark damn near broke up the whole house having sex with Lana, and he had years of experience thinking of Kryptonian baseball so as not to fire off heat ray ejaculation. Yes, that was
Wow.
That was real specific.
That was super specific.
And as a matter of fact, Michael, they only I'm still in season 6, so I don't know if they had sex again, but when they had sex in season 5, it's because he lost his powers because he disobeyed Jor-El. So he didn't have to worry about heat ray ejaculation. Wasn't a thing.
You keep saying heat ray ejaculation like it's a thing.
I'm sorry. Hey, it was on Smallville. What can I say? What I'm saying is the ceiling should be scorched. They really need to establish Hank Henshaw's mental acuity rather than merely present him as a henchman. As the longtime leader of the DEO, he should be a formidable strategic thinker and a game planner, tactically superior to Jean. If they showed him being more cerebral rather than growling and glowering, then perhaps the DEO would seem less incompetent and more as being outmaneuvered by a worthy adversary. Also, one nitpick. If you're going to call yourself Cyborg Superman, I'm going to need you to wear a Superman logo of some sort somewhere on your person.
The only thing with that is I don't know if we knew if the flashback of actual Hank Henshaw showed him to be like mentally superior to John.
He was vindictive.
Yeah.
In season 1, flashback of him threatening to take Kara from Jeremiah if he didn't come and work with them. So he was menacing as hell, but we didn't get enough in those flashbacks to know about his ability as a leader of DEO. Hell, we got plenty of incompetent government heads of agencies.
Yeah.
Well, plus everything's not for everybody. Like Henshaw's role right now is the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's his job.
They brought him back essentially to be
right.
the muscle. And also, like, John has been doing the job of the head of DEO for 15 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure he's pretty strategic as well at this point.
Yeah. So. And then Gil, hey Gil, the show could have ended a bit early if they gave Jeremiah a full CAT scan when he first got back, especially that busted hand. Also, Jean was able to density shift and then phase to cause the SUVs to flip, but then he allowed Jeremiah to punch him in the face repeatedly. In a hand-to-hand fight, Jean should have taken Jeremiah down. That is a good point, and I get it. It was a weak point because at one point, Jean phased through Jeremiah to try to get the drop on him earlier in the fight. Mm-hmm. So, and I get they had to have him get away, but they probably could have written a better way for him to do it.
The busted hand comment also reminded me when he was fake pretending that he couldn't cut them limes for the tequilas. That man really, he stuck to that lie. He stood up there acting like he couldn't cut them lines. Oh, he was horrible. He was horrible. That's why Eliza was looking at him side-eyed.
She knew. She was knowing. Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's the end of the feedback that I looked everywhere and yeah, we're good.
All right. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to add? Anything you're looking forward to?
Dpalm, you go first as our guest.
Good. Well, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to whatever the hell happens with Daxam because I think that it's going to be a big plot point. I think that the Mon-El Kara thing is moving towards a head, and I think they're going to get CW. You don't get that much happiness, so the clock's ticking on that one.
That's a good point. I wonder if it'll be revealed next episode.
That'd be nice.
I'm kind of hoping it is because that's episode 15, and there's only 20 episodes this season, so we need to get it moving.
I think that needs to happen. I want the Daxam stuff. I'm also okay with an entire Daxam related episode, like flashbacks and all that. I'm okay with the Mon-El centered episode. After all we've seen, I think Chris Wood could carry it.
Oh, I also lied. It's 22 this season. I'm sorry.
I'm also looking forward to Wynn's girlfriend dying, not because I don't like her. I actually really like the actress. I just think it'll be
mean.
I just think it'll be interesting.
You're mean.
I think it'll be our first, big major like thing that Cadmus tries to do. So I'm excited for that to happen. It'll be exciting.
You're not. Oh.
Wynn is just never gonna get a break. It's gonna be funny.
Poor Wynn.
He also had some funny lines this episode. He called it Cadmus cream egg. That made me laugh.
That was cute.
What are you looking forward to?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I had gone already. I want this Daxamite thing to come out. I want the reveal. I want to see the fallout. We've already kind of surmised that Chris Wood may only be a one season thing. So how that gets resolved will be rather interesting. We haven't really had a death on Supergirl.
Can I say what happens with him? What's going to happen with him? I'm just guessing. It's a guess.
That's fine.
He's going to get lead poisoning, have to get put in the Phantom Zone so they can discover a cure, and that's how we're going to get the Legion on this show. And I'm so excited for it. Because if anyone knows anything, Mon-El is a Legionnaire, and I'm really, really happy.
Isn't that a disease?
What, lead poisoning?
Not the disease, Sheila.
Oh, Legionnaire, stop.
We're talking about the show and the comic, girl.
I don't know what any of this means.
Okay, so did you watch Smallville?
No.
Okay. Well, the Legion is basically the JLA from a bunch of planets in the 31st century. They have a very long history of interacting with the super family. And Mon-El, the story of Mon-El is he comes and meets his cousin Superman. He's a Daxamite, a Kryptonian. They have similar powers. But as opposed to being kryptonite affecting Daxamites, lead does. He gets an overdose of lead trying to save Superman, and then has to be thrown in the Phantom Zone until they can find a cure. He gets pulled out in the 31st century and given the cure by Brainiac 5.
Okay.
Is it bad that I just want James Marsters as Brainiac again because I just love him in everything? And he was a really good Brainiac on Smallville.
I'm really glad I didn't watch Smallville.
It was messy.
It sounds messy.
It was oh god, it was messy, but it was fun. And I still argue it has a better Justice League than the movies we're about to see.
Those movies aren't coming out. I'll talk to you about
that. I did listen to that podcast. It was very funny.
Those movies aren't happening.
All right. So what would you grade this episode?
Dpalm, what would you give it? A through F.
I'd give it a solid B plus.
Huh? Okay.
No,
it's cool. It's your grade. I'm gonna.
It was the way it was. No, it's cool. It's fine. I guess if you want to be that person.
Great. So you enjoyed it, but only a B plus. What would have made it an A?
What would have made it an A? Like I said, it's a good balance of emotion and action. I just think that I don't want to give it too much of a ceiling. This show's got higher highs than this.
That's fair. That's fair. I give it an A-.
We gave it the same. What are you talking about? You gave it a B+.
A- is not a B+.
Oh my goodness.
No. Um, I feel those plot points, the 2 weeks of missing Jimmy, we're about to slip. If he's missing a third week, I don't care how good next week is, it's going to be a B.
Mm-hmm. I also give it an A- for the same reasons. Y'all know how I feel about Makad. I need him in my episodes. I think what's really, I mean, if I'm not deducting Jimmy points, then it's a solid A just for Mono. Chris Wood is that good. I know I'm the only one watching Vampire Diaries. He is just as funny on Vampire Diaries, you guys. He's so good on that show.
I tell you what, if you tell me which episodes he's in, I'll watch those. But I tried watching that, and I'm like, I don't care about these vampire white folks problems. This ain't Angel. This
The
is Buffy.
Vampire White folks. It's been the past 2 episodes. Go watch the latest 2 episodes of Vampire Diaries. He is hilarious. He did karaoke this week. It was great.
You're not selling me on this, ma'am.
No, it was great because he's like this evil villain. He was like, but I'm going to pause and do me some karaoke right quick. It's great. He's wonderful. Every week, just more and more, why does he not have his own show? Why is he not headlining his own show? Yeah, Chris Wood. Chris Wood for president. Better than what we got.
So before we go, Dpalm, do you want to tell them about some of the things you're doing on the network?
Yeah, I do. I don't know. It's hard to keep track. I co-host.
Or do you want to talk about how you were inceptioned into the network?
No. Let's just do the plugging. That's a tale that just makes me sad. It's too late to be sad. Yeah, I record the Super Tuesday podcast. I cover Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and The Flash. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is off this week, but The Flash just had a great episode with Gorilla City. Listen to the network. I also host all the character corners we do. We just did Wolverine that went live, I think, today.
Yeah, I downloaded it today.
Awesome. And I also am the host of our sports podcast, Unanimous Decision. We have episodes that come out every Monday, but until WrestleMania happens, every Friday as well, because I'm pretty sure I hate myself.
Give the people what they want.
I don't. Yeah, I've tricked. I don't know what's happening.
There are things.
What about you, Doctor? I know you have some premium stuff coming out soon.
Oh God, I'm doing that blinky guy thing right now. He threw me off. So I co-host Drunks with Petty Kruger, and I Am Winter Rain on the Premium Network. We released Paris is Burning last month, and we reviewed T-Rex, which is the documentary on Clarissa Shields, who's the 2-time Olympic gold medal winner from Flint. And that's coming out this month. In the next couple of months, we'll be releasing a podcast on Black and British, Will There Ever Be a British Black Prime Minister, and a documentary that's pretty old. It's from the 90s on the story of Henrietta Lacks, who is the originator of the HeLa cells. And that I hadn't seen the documentary, but I had read The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. If you don't know that story, it's heartbreaking. It's insidious. It's just as treacherous as you expect 1950s medicine to treat a Black woman in this country. But we're looking forward to doing that. I also just recently recorded a Doctor Who retrospective for the Premium with you guys from the network, where we're taking each Doctor and just breaking down their companions and their personalities. And we just did 9. He had 1 season. And then next month we'll be releasing 10, who's a lot of people's favorite, David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. And sometimes I guest on some of the nostalgia reviews. We just released the Predator review, I think, a few weeks ago. And so we're gearing up to finish out the Predators and then the AVP series.
The Black and British documentary is also hosted by David Harewood, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so, those Martian Manhunter, John Jones fans, you get to hear him speak with his beautiful British accent in that.
You get to hear him be woke as fuck. woke. He is so woke.
If you're looking for black actors on Twitter to follow who are woke, David Harewood, Jeffrey Wright, Don Cheadle, what's Orlando Jones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones to follow. Not only woke, hilarious, also, a little thirst trappy too. But it depends on what you like on your timeline. Depends on what you like on your timeline. Yeah, that's it. I am heading up to Seattle this weekend for Emerald City Comic Con. So, I don't know if the Supergirl folks are going to be there. I do know like the Outlander folks are going to be there, and a lot of comic book stuff because a lot of comic book artists are based out of Portland and Seattle nowadays. So I will be there this weekend. We will be back next week on time. This train does not stop at all.
Yeah, run straight through.
We're going straight ahead until May, running like Barry Allen. So we will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye. Say bye, Dpalm.
Bye, Dpalm.